Hello, hi, welcome. It is another Friday here in the entire world. I mean, there might be Saturday where you are. I don't know. Maybe you're watching this from, those other time zones. Anyway, hello. My name is Jens Erik. I'm your community manager for Conan Exiles, and as you can see, I'm flying solo this Friday because of various reasons. I hope you like the hoodie because I figured I would, kick it up a notch after people have been really liking my t-shirts. Nicole and Andy are in the chat, taking care of business there, and apparently they're going to be interacting with me as much as they're interacting with everyone else. So I think that's going to be funny. Yes, it is indeed a rainbow. It is a rainbow of paint, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it's been a while since we last spoke. Mostly because I've been away on vacation for 3 weeks, and that is a fact of life of living in Norway, where we have mandatory vacation time. So I completely lost my train of thought already. So this is flying off to a great start. All right, I'm back. As you can see, I hope everyone's had a nice summer. I know a lot of us have had a nice summer. I had a really great summer, and so now we're back in full production again. My vacation was great, by the way. I spent some time in Denmark, and then I spent a lot of time just being in the ocean, swimming around, and it's been good. So now it's finally time to get back to work. It's time to start up the streams again, start up doing all that good stuff. But yeah, okay, so. Today's stream, what are we going to do on today's stream? I'm going to recap a bit what's been happening lately and what's going to be happening in the future. I'm going to show off some of the Aquilonian DLC that we recently released on Thursday. A unicorn threw up on me. Yes, absolutely. Or I dropped a bucket of paint, whatever, I'm glad to see people are excited about the stream and the Aquilonian DLC. I think that's really good. So thank you for that. Thank you for being excited. Thank you for being, a rad community and all that kind of stuff. And Wasabi Snooter, congratulations on Conan Exiles being the most successful Funcom game thus far. Thank you very much. It's been really cool to be a part of this project and know that we've done some really good stuff. Like it's sold incredibly well. So thank you very much. All right. Let's see what else. We're gonna talk about the fan art and fan fiction contest. That's going to be at the end of the stream. And yeah, like I said, since I'm flying solo, since it's just back from vacation, since like the production schedule is going up again, the stream might be on the shorter end. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna slightly wing it and just see what happens as we go. But yeah, and also, hey, if you want to buy this, it's on the internet. Just go to Serpent Urban Clothing, and yes, it's actually called that. So just go there and you can buy it there. All right. As I mentioned, production is back in full swing, and like even though a lot of us went on vacation because Norway and all that, we haven't like shut down completely. Like there was still stuff happening behind the scenes, even though we didn't put out patches all the time. We still had people working here who were working on fixes. We still had people working here who were working on new content, new weapons, new armors, all that kind of stuff. And like so they will get their vacation time at a later point, of course. So yeah, we've been working on things for future patches. We had a quick PC patch earlier this week on Thursday at the same time that we dropped the new DLC. And in case you missed the announcement, we are targeting next week for a console parity patch, which will then bring the consoles in line with what's currently on PC in terms of fixes, updates, and all that kind of good stuff. That was announced on our forums, forums.funcom.com, I think the address is. And we have you might have mentioned that we might have noticed that we have a news and announcements section like on top when you first go to the Conan Exiles forums. and we post basically almost every week or every 2 weeks, depending on like how often we're able to get a schedule going. We will post announcements there that says, hey, this is our next couple of weeks worth of patches and like patch planning. So keep an eye on our forums, on social media, and all that kind of stuff, because we'll always link to that stuff when we have things to say, you know. So yeah, like I mentioned, production is back going again, and my chat is kind of, there we go. Going by Aesthetic Sweaters, you do force casual Fridays at the office? No, we don't actually. I always dress like this. Seriously. But it's like when you work for a video game company, it's always casual Friday. Like every single day is casual, because you know, it's all like good fun stuff. Like we had a guy who used to work for us who every day when he came in, he would change into shorts and sandals, because that's what he wanted to wear and that's what he felt comfortable with. So that's how we do it here at Funcom in the video game industry. As always, keep your feedback and bug reports coming in, because that's the only way we can make the game better, of course. And you know, try to keep it constructive. Try to give us as much information as possible, because that will help us out with building a test case and figure out you know, what might be wrong with the game. My Machina Rock over on Mixer asks, what about Xbox? As mentioned earlier, you might have missed it because maybe you came in late. Who knows? We're targeting a parity patch for the consoles, which will bring all the consoles in line with what's currently on PC in terms of fixes and updates. And we are also still looking at fixing the crash fixes, the crashes on the Xbox version, because we know it still has some issues. Like, we are still keeping track of what's going on, and like, we know the game isn't working perfectly for everyone, and of course we still want the game to run as well as it possibly can for as many people as possible. Right. The pets system, I'm going to switch over to that now. We've been working on it for a while now, and we're finally able to, well, I'm finally able to talk about it at long last. And in case you missed unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show that much of the pet system, but I'm trying to we're going to see if we'll be able to show some of that stuff next week. But we're gonna go into some of the details that we've gone into in the community newsletter already. And basically the pet system, the pets will work pretty much the same as thralls have, in that you capture them and you put them in a pen or a crafting machine, and then you get something back that you can then place out into the game world and have it follow you, or you can have them work for you in other ways. But we're not going to have you walk into the Exile lands, club like a hyena over the head, and then drag it back to your pen. We're not going to do that. So basically you capture a baby, or you capture an egg, which can be found out in the world, or it can be found from vendors. And you basically walk up to it, and then you click a button, and then you pick it up with you. And of course, eggs will hatch, and you will have to then put them into an animal pen, which is an item that you can build. And once they're put inside the animal pen, they will start growing into proper pets, and you will start taming them, essentially. I see Nicole has already linked it in the chat, which is good. Let's see what else. Once that conversion process is started, you'll have to feed them, of course. Each pen can hold 5 animals, and then higher tiers of pens can hold higher tier quality animals. And then, of course, like much like with thralls, you'll need to feed them, you know, the good kind of food that they need. So as we mentioned in the example in the community newsletter, kappas enjoy plant fibers, but they actually prefer like oysters or shellfish. So if you feed them the proper food, like the taming process will be easier, as far as I understand. And then of course, once you have your pet, once you have the animal as a pet, it works exactly like thralls do. Like, if you pull them out of your pen, you will have them as an icon, as an item in your inventory, and then like you place them on your hotbar, you quick select them, and then you can place them out. The language in the community newsletter was a bit unclear, but like they will work exactly like thralls will. So you will give them commands, for example, to follow you or to stay where they are. So you don't have to, like, they're not like tied to you all the time, for example. So if you want to have, say, an army of tigers at your disposal, you can basically line up a bunch of tigers in front of your home, and then there all the tigers will be, and then you can have one of them follow you, for example. However, if you decide to keep your animals within the pens themselves, if you don't take them out of the pens to work as, you know, pets for you or to work as guardians of your stuff, they will start to generate resources for you. So rock gnosis, for example, can be a source of iron ore, which is good if you have, you know, iron ore far away from you. Some animals might produce dung, which is something you use for something else, and watch this space, we're going to reveal that later. Not later today, but at a later date. And you know, depending on the resource you get, the resource you get depends on the animal, of course, and what kind of animal it grows into can also depend on the food. So for example, a hyena puppy can become a regular hyena, a striped hyena, or a greater hyena. Yeah, and you can also have multiple kinds of animals in the same pen. So for example, you can have a rhino and hyenas in the same pens. You're not like forced to keep only rhinos, for example, in one pen if you put one rhino in there. Some animals, of course, are restricted to a higher tier pen, but the highest tier of pen can hold all the animals. But be careful, because there's only 5 slots per pen. I'm not Danish, Angel Hunter, I'm Norwegian, and it's been a while since I've been on stream, so the language is stumbling a bit, unfortunately. Yeah, but there will only be 5 slots per pen, so you'll have to be careful about, well, not necessarily careful, you have to plan it out, for example. So like, if you're trying to tame like 6 hyenas, then you're gonna have to build another pen or take one out of your existing pen. Let's see. Unfortunately, you won't be able to upgrade from like one type of pen to a different one. Animal pen, not like pen that you write with. The reason for that is because they are considered crafting machines as opposed to crafting stations. The difference being that a crafting machine is something that runs continuously as long as you have fuel in it, and a crafting station is something that you click on and on. So, for example, a crafting station has recipes. So the Wheel of Pain, for example, and the animal pens are crafting machines, whereas the carpenter's bench, for example, is a crafting station. Melly asks, I guess questions about actual gameplay won't be answered. I will answer questions as I see them, but right now I'm also focusing on the things that I have to say. So I'm not ignoring chat, I'm just not looking at chat, unfortunately. I'm going to go through some of the questions that I have written down already, because some of the stuff might be, some of the stuff that I've written down might also be some of the questions that you guys in chat have. We also have Mr. Scooper, who's one of our, I think he's lead programmer now, who might also be able to answer some of you guys' questions, because as Tweaknuts just pointed out, Scooper knows everything. Okay, let's see. Yes, you'll also have to feed your animals, like at all times. You do that by, well, not all times, but you'll have to feed your animals, and they will have special animations that they do when they're hungry. At least that's as far as I understand it. And then you'll have to put food into their inventory, or there will be a special feeding trough that you can use to automatically distribute food to pets. I think also there might be taskmasters coming for pet taming, but I'm not gonna confirm or deny that, but I believe that we're also adding a thrall to make animal taming happen faster in the pens. And if not, then people can tell me to, you know, shut up and stop spreading false information. All right. What else? So right now, we're targeting a release for a test live version of the pet system of August 16th. That's in 2 weeks ish. Yes. Well, yeah, that is almost exactly 2 weeks. Of course, like there are some things that needs to be finished internally first. Then we're going to have a run of internal tests, and then we're going to release it on test live, and it's going to sit on test live for a while, so people can then run through it and try to break it and tell us things that we need to fix and take care of and update and all that kind of stuff. Let's see some of the other questions that I've written down. Oh yeah, someone on our forums also asked if you could pick a pet up after you've placed it on the ground. No, unfortunately not. It's going to work the same as the thralls are, because they have an inventory, and once you place them out and you have stuff in their inventories, you'll be putting an inventory into your inventory, and so unfortunately it doesn't work that way. We were also asked if we were adding more animals down the line or if the current list is set. We're not ruling it out that we're adding in more animals. I know a lot of people wanted dragons as pets. I think dragons are going to be a bit too OP to keep as pets. Also a bit difficult to stick in those pens. But we're not ruling it out. We're not ruling out that we're going to add some additional animals down the line. Something I've failed to mention earlier is that, for example, we're going to be adding, like, there's going to be a camel pet that you can buy from a vendor, and then you put him in your pen, and then you have basically a pet that can carry stuff for you. It's not going to be a mount. Like, I can say that out right now. Like, this is not the mounts system. This is the pets system. They will work as animal companions, and they will follow you around, and they will do stuff for you within their animal pens, but they are not mounts. Let me just be clear about that. Like, 100% they are not mounts. You will be able to punch camels, like, once the camels are in. I think I mentioned camels in the community newsletter. Yeah, I did. I was also asked in the forums if there would be a way to make animals stronger. For example, we could put armor on thralls, and if there would be something similar for animals. In this first iteration, there won't be a way to make your pets stronger. Like, if we're able to do it, maybe down the line, but like I can neither confirm nor deny that right now. At the moment, I don't think you'll be able to have more than one pet following you, so you won't be able to go like full Beastmaster with like a panther and like a hawk and all that other stuff, but you'll at least be able to have a giant rhino following you. That's going to be really cool. Like, once we're rolling out the pet system, you can tame bears, hyenas, crocodiles, ostriches, jungle birds, rhinos, locusts, rock noses, boars, gazelles, camels, shalebacks, all the big cats, so lions, tigers, jaguars, etc., wolves, and of course, my non-personal favorite, the spiders, which are terrible and need to go away immediately. What about vultures? I don't really know. I'm not sure if we're gonna have like bird taming, but like I said earlier, we're not ruling out the potential to expand the list of animals that we have. So who knows? But yeah, there will be spider pets if people want that, and I know that a lot of people want that. All right. I like not having mounts in this game, mainly because when we have to go out and get supplies for something, it feels like an actual adventure and it's fun and scary. I can agree with that, actually, but sometimes people want to move faster, or will pets travel with you through the map room? No, they won't. Much like thralls, they won't. However, I was told that we're going to add some functionality that if your pets get too far away from you, they should teleport to you. In case you need to cross a river, or you need to run really fast away from something, for example. Elephants, not at first. They're big, but maybe down the line. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. that's briefly what I have about the pet system. Can I have both a pet and a thrall following me? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we're treating them basically the same in that you can only have like one thing following you, and unfortunately that's how it's going to be. I would like frost giants, please. I don't think frost giant pets are going to happen, because I don't think we have baby frost giants in the game, but Kojak2477, has anything been said about the purge system being fixed? I haven't specifically mentioned the purge in this update, in this particular stream, I mean, but we are always taking down people's feedback, and like if you have anything specific, then please let me know what it is in the chat and I can try to answer you, but like just asking me if the purge is being fixed isn't exactly telling me anything. I'm not sure what that's referring to. J-Rat Hicks asks, how big are the animal pens, either in foundation blocks or compared to Wheels of Pain? They're pretty big. Probably like 6 or 7 foundations in like width. I haven't really compared the two because I haven't had complete access to all that data yet, but we'll be able to show that stuff hopefully next week, maybe. What is the limit to how many pets can follow me around? Can I have an army of rhinos? Probably not. I'm guessing that it's going to be one animal at a time, or it's going to be one animal specifically, and like that is what you can have following you. So about 4.7, I think. Yeah, like if you go to the blog, you'll be able to see some photos, and you should be able to draw a slight conclusion based on that. But like it has to be, the pens have to be big enough to fit bears and rhinos in them, for example, and they are pretty big creatures, and so we need a lot of room to be able to fit those, and so the pens need to be fairly big. Can we dye our pets? No, you can't. Slimy Chalk, I'm not ignoring certain things, but just telling me that chat is broken doesn't really help in any way. I'm not going to be able to answer that in any specific way. And what you're saying in Mixer chat about that we're removing anything negative on the forums is absolutely wrong. Like we might be locking threads here and there if we feel that they have gotten out of hand in terms of what the original posting was about. But we are not removing negative feedback from the forums. Aaron Dickinson asks, will new servers be released with this update with pets? Will new servers be introduced in the future? We currently don't have any plans to release any new servers. Like we have about 1,000 official servers right now. So we don't have plans to add any more right now. No, there are not going to be any new areas coming out of the new taming system either. Like we are going to be adding there are stuff connected to the pet system, like for example the new dungeon. I can't say for sure if that's going to be coming out with the pet system, but there will be new dungeons added. I think we're planning on adding 3 more dungeons, but we're not going to be adding more to the map, for example. Will you need to consistently feed your pets? Do they level up? Can you equip gear on your pets? Can you command your pets to blah 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 blah? Can pets carry items? Okay, consistently feed your pets. Yes, you will need to do that. Do they level up? No. Can you equip gear on your pets? No. I don't think so, at least. Can you command your pets to patrol, attack, gather a resource? You can command them to follow you, and you can command them to stop. Can pets carry items? Yes, that is what the camel is for. It's basically something with a huge inventory that walks on legs that you can have take it with you, basically. Morning, John Bain. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Are the pens lockable? How do you protect them on a PvP server? They're going to act the same way that a Wheel of Pain does, essentially. Can you teach pets the stock market? No, absolutely not. There's no stock market. There's no stalk market either. All right. Can I teach my pet to sit? No. Do you need to water our pets? I don't think so. Will you redesign vaults? I have told the dev team several times that we need to look into what's going on with vaults right now, and I believe it is on our to-do list. All right, I'm gonna move on to some DLC stuff because as previously announced, we're also going to be talking a bit about the DLC. And there it is. Awesome. I'm very happy when things work out the way they should be. All right, let's see. How are pets going to deal with climbing high bases, getting around the mountain area? As I mentioned earlier, which you may have missed if you came in late, I was told that we're going to be adding a functionality to have the pets teleport to you if they get too far away, which is really smart in my opinion. So that is how we're going to get around that, basically. Does Camel have a weight limit? No, but there's going to have a slot limit. So, all right, moving on. After drink of water. So, the Jewel of the West pack adds a whole bunch of Aquilonia style items to the game. So I think it's 39 building pieces, it is 5 new warm paints, it is 15 armor pieces plus epic late game versions, and it's 9 new weapons plus late game epic versions. And it works essentially the same way as the Khitan DLC did, in that you buy it and then it unlocks as a recipe that requires the Master Mason feat that you can learn at level 30, and then you get the let's see, what's it called? It is called the Khitan Artisan Station, I believe. Yeah, there it is, Khitan Furniture Maker, which gives you the artisan table that you can then make a bunch of new cool items in it. And so yeah, this, and of course all the armors are going to be light, medium, heavy. This is the basic light armor, which is called the Scout Headgear, and as you can see, it's very like Greco-Roman, a bit Spartan, a bit like gladiatorial. And I think this is really, really cool. I really like some of the details on a lot of this stuff, like the lion heads on the braziers, for example, the stitching on like the leather, like right here, for example. I really, really like some of the stuff that they've done. And of course, since people have asked about capes a couple of times at least, it's not a cape, but it's like a scarf thing, so it's similar, you know, it's similar. We know right now that there's a bug on them where they don't give you proper heat / cold protection. I'm not sure what they're supposed to give you, but given that Aquilonia is a very temperate climate, I would assume that it's supposed to give you heat protection, so it's gonna, you know, it's gonna cool you down, etc. And this is live right now. Like, you can go to the Steam store or the Xbox store or the PSN store right now and buy this if you want to. Dawnbat says the Scout arm is best for fashionable necromancers. Absolutely, because, you know, it's got the scarf cape. And personally, I think the buildings look really cool because it has this like nice like marble look to it that I really, really enjoy. I like the whole like Greco-Roman thing. And I agree with Enyos in Twitch chat. Scarves are very, very manly. All right. The next tier, the medium tier, is the infantry armor, which looks more like, you know, studded leather armor, again with more like details, like the gold trim, for example, along the chest here, the studs on the right here, the lion head. Especially, I really like these, the like snake skin stuff on the helmet. It's really cool stuff, and I think, like, again, our 3D artists, Greco-Roman, you dropped the ball with no arches. Hey, I don't make the design decisions, okay? Okay. Our 3D artists, our character modelers have again done an amazing job of creating this stuff and just making it look like something people would wear, which I think is extra cool. And finally, the heavy armor called the Black Dragon armor, which is just like, you'll look like a Roman legionnaire. I think this is amazing, incredibly cool stuff. Like again, I can't stress the details enough, like the gold patterns here, the eagle on the belt, the eagle wings on the bracers, Everything is really, really cool looking. The wings here on the side of the helmet, I think is really, really neat. It sort of makes him look like a Roman version of the Flash, because the Flash also has those kind of things. Saphira says, I need that hat in real life. I'd wear it to the store. I don't think I'd wear it to the store, but you know, there's something about the head plume over his head there that's really, really good. All right. So I decided to make a little something. I cheated when I did all this. Like, all this is just stuff that I spawned in. But, because I figured, you know, this, it has to look good when we show it on the stream. And since I chose this lake area right here, I figured, why not make like a Roman bathhouse kind of place? And if you saw the video that we put out on our YouTube channel, the pop culture coming off, if you saw the video that we put up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/funcom, then you should also, like, we built an entire like gladiatorial arena, which is now something you can make. I mean, it's something you could always make, but now it has that like proper Roman look to it, you know. And so I decided to make this stuff, and this is basically just me building out over the water and making these, like, you know, holes here where the water could still form, and then just like surrounding them with fences, put out some carpets, put out some new bracers. Like, all of this stuff is stuff that you get in the new Aquilonia DLC. Oh, sorry, Jewel of the West. Stone Dove XP says, I'm so going to make a Roman bathhouse orgy room. I mean, maybe they used it for that. I mean, they were, I don't know if the Aquilonians were all about that stuff, but the Romans certainly were. So I figured, you know, I'm gonna make something that looks nice, someplace where people can sit and, you know, chill out and have a good time. Of course, we need the screens, and they need to have some sort of decoration. And all of this stuff is made, right here in the artisan table, which I haven't technically unlocked all the recipes yet, but yeah, I am. This is where it would be if I'd actually unlocked everything and not just spawned it in by cheating. All right. All of this stuff will be made available for crafting. All of this stuff will be made available for crafting. I didn't use all the building pieces, but I probably should have, because these look really, really good. And you might have noticed that I'm named my character Cognac, because I think Cognac the Barbarian sounds hilarious. So there's also 9 new weapons, which comes in all the forms that you would expect. Pikes, axes, warhammers, maces, swords, great swords, poniards, and of course a giant shield that looks like something straight out of a pretty cool movie. Oh. Switch to the vanity cam. So again, a lot of like lion motifs, animal motifs on these weapons, on these armors, and it looks really freaking good in my opinion. Especially on the warhammer. I'm gonna see if I'm able to show this off. Like on the sides here, for example, you have the crossed axes and the eagle. You have the spiral pattern there, for example. You have the eagles on the sides here. You have the flower. And this is just artistic flourishes that our 3D artist wanted to add to the thing, because he was like, no, I want to do this. I want to make it look cool. I want to make it look as awesome as possible. And they're kind of huge. Like this, for example, can probably look like a 2-handed axe, but we're going to be swinging it around like a 1-handed axe anyway. And in case you missed it, we are going to be adding in more stuff to the combat system. For example, letting you dual wield, well, not necessarily dual wield, but like if you're carrying an axe in one hand and an offhand axe in the other hand, you'll be able to do some neat little combos. You'll be able to see those. We're going to be showing you those later when we're able to. So it's got a nice pike here. I like the blue coloring is really cool. The details on the side here, again, just stuff that they wanted to add because it makes everything look that much cooler. Great sword as well. has the same, like the similar etchings and the similar patterns. I think these are, yeah, horse heads. At least it looks like horses' heads on the sides, like the nice sunrise, the nice flowers. So yeah, our artists really go above and beyond to be able to make this stuff and make it look as cool as possible, essentially. All right. That is what you get. I'm also gonna just fly up a bit to show some of the stuff that I've put out on the roof. And so you get these braziers that are huge, but they're also really cool looking. Again, details, but I really dig the fact that they've, like, it looks like statues holding up the giant braziers. I'm also going to pick up the bow later, don't worry. The flags are really cool, and of course the statues, which are very, very similar to basically anything you'd see in any like video game or movie set in Rome, essentially. So now, if you want to, all your Roman bathhouse dreams can be realized within Conan Exiles, which I think is really cool. Let's see, there we go. There's the bow, the Bossonian bow. Oops, wrong button. Which is a pretty cool bow. Angel Grey Gaming asks, are you planning on doing any other race-specific DLC? There will be more DLC coming. We haven't announced what it is yet, but there's more stuff coming. I'm not going to say what it is, because I'm not allowed to, but there's going to be more stuff coming. Why didn't we call this a Roman bathhouse update? Because Jewel of the West is a bit more evocative of something, but it's not a bad name. I mean, that's... We did make a giant bathhouse / temple to take some screenshots in. So it's you can build whatever you want. Like you can build a giant temple to your god, for example, and have a temple inside it. So it's I'm really proud of what our people have done. I think it's really, really amazing. The braziers up there, for example, they're also in the update. All right, so there's going to be more stuff coming. I've seen some of it, some of the sketches that we have been made for it, but it's gonna be cool. I think you guys are gonna be happy. But of course, just because we're doing these DLC stuff, these DLC things, doesn't mean that we're also not working on fixing bugs, fixing crashes, and adding more content. Like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be at least 3 more dungeons being rolled out. There's going to be the pet system. We're going to be adding more stuff into combat. We're going to be adding more stuff to the bow, I believe. All that stuff is on our devlog, but it's going to be... I'm going to see if I can maybe just find that real quick for you guys and just post it in chat. There we go. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna like what we have coming down the line, because a lot of it is really, really cool. What about magic? Demon Spy asks. I can't say for sure, but if we are able to bring the sorcery system to life, of course we're gonna add it to the game. If we are able. Please don't talk about bathhouse jewels. That's something else. All right, so that's the Jewel of the West. And that's my bathhouse, made by Cognac the Barbarian. Okay. We are going to switch back to me. I'm going to turn that off. All right. Let's see. Finally. Yes. Okay. So, back in June, we decided that we wanted to do a contest. a fan art and fan fiction contest, which turned out really good. We had about, I think it was like 30 entries in our fan fiction, and like in both fan fiction and fan art, and it was, all of it was super cool. Let's switch back to me now, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. So I'm just gonna let some of the fan art that we had go on a loop here right next to me while I talk a bit, because like so many other people, I enjoy hearing myself speak, especially now that I have headphones on. I can actually hear it. So we basically asked fan art creators to send us their best work within the month of June, and the winners would get a signed physical copy of the game signed by the entire dev team. We did that because we know that there are some incredible creators within our fan community. We know that there are people who can make some truly, truly amazing, incredible stuff. And we absolutely saw that in our fan art and our fan fiction entries. And I honestly, I wish I would be able to sit here through an entire stream and just like read fan fiction, because some of it was amazingly good. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm like, today I'm gonna announce the winner of both the fan art and the fan fiction contest. And so I figured I was gonna talk a bit about both of them and then just read the one entry that we liked the best, that we thought would win. And so, but I want some of the fan art to scroll basically, and so you can just see some of that. But we got some really cool fan art, and we got some really cool fan fiction. One person, this wasn't the winner, but one person, Edie Reyes, decided to, and I'm going to switch back to me now, to basically combine the two into a fan fiction comic book, which he made himself and then sent to us. And so it's both the text and I think this was really awesome. Unfortunately, like, it didn't win, but just like the work he went through to make this stuff was really awesome. And he did like a mashup of Conan the Barbarian and H.P. Lovecraft, which was a cool thing to do. We got fan fiction that was set within the Exile lands as the game was happening. Before the game was happening, we got a bunch of fan fiction about characters who had been rescued by Conan. We got fan fiction about characters who had just been living there for a while. We had one entry where a character met Valyria. We had fan fiction that was set in the modern times, where an archaeological expedition actually finds like the ruins from the Exile lands, and they find like fossils of the Giant Kings, which was really freaking cool in my opinion. And yeah, the fan art also spanned a bunch of different genres, a bunch of different styles. Some of it was 3D modeling, as you can see here. Some of it was hand drawn. Some of it was paint. Some of it was just colors and pencils. And it was really, really amazing to see how good you people are at making this stuff. Like, I was absolutely blown away, and I wish I could give everyone a prize. But like, unfortunately, there can only Zero TV says, first fix the bugs before you present fan art, Funcom. So here's the thing. I'm the community manager. I don't fix bugs. What I do sometimes on Fridays, a lot of Fridays, is I sit in this room and I host a live stream. And sometimes, at least on this live stream, I show fan art. That is my job. The guys who are fixing bugs are fixing bugs. So don't think the entire studio just shuts down because I'm sitting in this room, because that would be really weird. All right. Fox those programming bugs. Okay. What is the thing? Oh, there it is. Okay. I think maybe we've cycled through most of it, but I think I'm just gonna let the fan art run its course for a bit, and I'm just gonna try to read this, and hopefully, I'll be able to get through this without stumbling too much, because I'm not necessarily a great reader, but we'll try. And this is the winner of the fanfiction contest, and then we're gonna show the winner of the fan art contest later. It was super difficult to choose, but can we download the fan art? I am, I can't say yes because we haven't asked permission from the original creators. But if you want to see it, you can find it in a link that we just posted in the Twitch chat. So yeah, you'll get to see that. All right, here we go. A place of exiles tied down to a hateful earth of old inhuman races that claw against sides of graves while descending into abyss. A hell which depicts a people that many dark millennia declined into endemic tribal war and had left under blackest sorceries would scratch out survival in. Zarim of the Crab clan of Picts from the western ocean shore crouched within tall grass and bush. He'd come to be in a lush river delta valley while stalking Darfari hunters trying to make sport of him. Zarim's pursuers too long preyed on an abundance of domesticated exiles, and it dulled their instincts for hunting those not disarmed of true nature by the cruelty of civility and its false securities. One of the last hunters crossed shallow stream under moonlight near a waterfall, carelessly stepping. Twined tripwire released stick arm, driving serrated and carved bone into the cannibal's thigh. Dark blood gushed from the wound as flesh ripped about with the spike's toothed edges, and stayed impaled in his flesh. An anguished cry came from the trap's victim. His life's blood flowed without slowing, an exodus from his body till he was soon dead with its loss. Another Darfari ran to him, as cries of panic still echoed in the night. Her growls of intimidation against the darkness cut short, as a stone spear edge thrashed through her neck from her blind side. She saw all going inkwell black, except a ghost of mud-covered silhouette quickly crossing her fading view without a sound. Taking her last steps forward, hands raised in futility into what remained of her throat, cascades of crimson flowed down her bare and ebony skin-toned chest before she succumbed and collapsed with a bloody, gurgling whimper. Of the Darfari, Zarim had learned from the pirates' tales. Coastal Picts, while spoken of as being the wildest in Singara, still engaged in trade with passing ships when it suited them. From the lands south of Kush and Stygia, prized ostrich feathers and plumes came to the Picts in return for the various needs of fresh water, food, copper, and timbers the pirates and buccaneers, desperate enough to lay anchor and risk contact with the clan, would seek. Zarim's foreknowledge of these cannibals had not, however, helped his only companion since arriving in the exile lands, Dasha. The Pict went murderous cold with thinking of her and her end. Dasha, the half-Pict, half-Aquilonian slave dancer from the shores of the Aquilonian frontier on Thunder River. Zarim had been caged with her at the Darfari camp, her screams as living flesh rapidly cooked off from bone in the boiling, oily broth when she was chucked into the Darfari's massive black iron cauldron, feet first, making her a sacrifice to their god Yog, a demon lapdog of Set if Stygian sailors were to be believed. In his time with Dasha, Zarim had started to learn of Derketo, a deity that had stirred up a sense of piety in him with her domain over fertility and death, and the passions that joined them. Over the course of several days since his escape, Zarim had also learned much of his surroundings in the exile lands, as he fled from his pursuers deeper into the river valley. He had even journeyed up the stone cliffsides to the edge of a haunted and long corrupted city, where all manner of undead and horrors dwelled, and all living insanity had fled. Yet the cannibal savages had maintained the hunt till now. The last of them, a sole Darfari stalker, was now realizing he was alone on the river's shores, alone with a savage equal in ferocity and lethality to any of his own race. With no pause, the last hunter turned and started south, toward where he knew a friendly tribe of his kinsmen had a camp on the water's edge. The hunt for the Pict would begin again with fresh pursuers, better prepared for the task of bringing this long pig down into a feast in Yog's honor. I wanted to keep her with me. Not knowing Pictish, but startled by hearing Zahim's voice, the Darfari stopped, wary of his prey's tricks. In the dark, he looked all around him, stepping slowly until he felt and heard a crunch under his foot. Small bones, branches, and leftovers of plant stalks from making twine littered the ground along with animal carcasses. The creatures had not been killed in the manner of a tribal, though. They were shriveled, dry husks, drained, In complete panic, the Darfari, too late, had realized what the Pict had herded him into. He turned to run, but heard as the makeshift cage was sprung and the scamper of merciless legs of Chitin came forward, out from under where it had been concealed below branches and grass. I named her Dasha. Whether the Darfari could even hear Zahim's low, monotone voice did not even matter to the Pict. He was more speaking to himself as he crouched out from his place up in the trees and watched as the full moon emerged from behind the clouds to reveal the sight of the cannibal being brought down by the massive, man-sized black spider with red stripes down its back. I couldn't save her, but maybe in this form, with Derketo's blessing, she is reborn and will live on here, now able to defend herself. With the Darfari's dying screams, Zarim knew the game was ended, and the business of starting life again here in the Exile lands could begin. Whew, thank you. We got very serious there for a bit, but that was the winner of the fanfiction contest. It's called A Crab in Long Pigskin, which, if I'm allowed by the author, we're going to put up on our devlog, and in case you guys want to read it, essentially. All right. Just need more gain on the mic. I hope you liked it. I hope my reading was fine. Do ASMR readings? We'll see, maybe sometime in the future. Okay, so we're gonna jump now from fan fiction to the fan art. Will there be a stream to address bug issues being this for the DLC and upcoming pets? I'm not sure what you mean. But as mentioned, we are aware of some of the bugs that were introduced in the DLC, and we are going to fix them. The pet system, hopefully, we'll be able to do a stream of that, like actually show you guys stuff next week. All right, so I'm gonna turn the slideshow off, and I'm going to show you guys the winner. Like we did a vote among the developers, which you know, we sort of had to do because we wanted to reach some sort of not conclusion, but we wanted to agree on what the final winner should be. So all the developers voted, and then the community team did some discussion amongst themselves. And so, without further ado, I wish I had like a thing animation. I don't, so I'm just going to turn the thing on. The winner of the fan art competition, which is this amazing entry by a guy called Nick, showcasing a young Darfari cannibal trying to stare down at least 3 crocodiles. I think the details in this stuff is truly amazing. The way the different crocodiles look, the way he's shaded everything, the background images of like the broken curse wall, for example, the Dragon Spine Mountains back there, for example, the water skin on the ground. Like, the more you look at this thing, the more detail you're able to pick out of like what's going on. And it was incredibly difficult to choose a winner. Like, as you could see, like as we were going through the slideshow, like it was so hard to choose a winner. But in the end, like, this is what we landed on, and this is what the dev team really liked, the community team really liked it, and like, yeah, we thought this absolutely deserved to win. So I'm gonna email these guys, and if you haven't seen it already on our devlog, like I think Nicole and Andy can link that in the chat, in the Twitch chat at least. There's a huge just like post with all the fan art that we got from people, and it's been a really good competition to see all the stuff that you've been able to make. All right. So, on that bombshell, I'm going to be signing off because it's 6 o'clock and I have stuff to do. I'm sorry that we weren't able to show like anything like huge and substantial, but hopefully like you guys enjoyed seeing what the new DLC is all about. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing me read some fan art. Hopefully you guys enjoyed reading some fan fiction. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed seeing all the fan art. I absolutely loved hosting that competition, and being able to judge it was really amazing. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, of course, and thank you to Andy and Nicole for hanging around the chat. Thank you to Scooper for hanging around in the chat. I believe that Nicole may have chosen a person that we can raid as we're signing this thing off. Can I get a thumbs up from Nicole in the chat, please? We're just gonna, yeah, she does. All right, so I'm just gonna have her do the thing. I think she knows how to activate the raid function, right? Hopefully. It's just, and yep, she knows what to do. All right, so I'm going to be signing off, and then Nicole is going to activate the raid. So just you know, tell them Funcom sent you, and tell them that we love them, we appreciate them, and yeah, I guess the keyword is Funcom raid. You know, so the countdown is going. I'm going to sign off. And we'll see you guys hopefully in a week, and we'll have some more stuff for you. All right, stay beautiful. Bye.